Hey everybody, Animal Man here. Today our quails are a week and a half old and they're going to move into the outdoor brooder I just designed and built them. Stay with us. So here's a brooder I designed and built. I really just need the quails to be the heck out of my house. They're getting really smelly and loud, and I'm worried that they're not going to be kept as clean. They're not going to be able to be as clean as they will if they're on a mesh bottom where the poop can fall through. Right now they're in 2 Rubbermaid bins inside. So I'm going to transfer them out here. I've got a 100-watt heat bulb in each of these, and I've got them zip tied on here for security. That way they'll stay there, they won't get blown off or knocked off. And let me show this to you. I just finished building this today. Here it is. It's a little bit smaller than the rabbit and quail tower that I call it, that I built. This is 2 feet by 4 feet. The brooder here, you needed screen for the bottom, a 1/4-inch screen. I had a smaller piece, so I didn't make it quite 2 by 4. So I think it's like 20 inches by 42 is what I ended up doing for the final dimensions. So basically, you can see on the inside, let me climb back up. I framed it out with this really cheap strapping material that I get in bundles of 15 from Home Depot. That's what you're looking at right there. And then I used plywood, I think 1132 plywood for the sides. And with a brooder, you really want solid sides because it helps hold the heat in. I have 1/2-inch mesh like I use for the big bird's cage on the top because their little feet aren't going to be walking around up here. And then I have 1/4-inch mesh for the floor in there. That way their little feet and toes won't fall through, but it'll still let their little tiny poops fall through to the bottom. And so it's got 2 doors with the hinges in the center. And it's got latches to keep these secure in case any animals come out here or whatever and try to have a go at them. And then I've got the lights zip tied in 2 spots, you know, there and there. And that keeps these on there pretty good so they stay centered where I want them. And then when I open the lids, they won't go flying or whatever. And the other really cool feature, just like the tray on the rabbit and quail tractor here, this slides out. I've got the same thing I designed for this one. It's a little bit tighter though. Let me see. Oh, voila. First try, all right. So I framed it out with the strapping material, and then I've got masonite on the bottom. You can see down there. And the masonite is basically glorified cardboard, so I had to waterproof it. So I have this rubber paint basically that you paint on here, let it cure, and then I just run a bead of silicone around the sides just to make sure that I ensure the whole thing is watertight. I let the droppings fall right in here. Don't worry about laying paper down or anything. And then I just gently scrape it out with one of these plastic putty knives that are like disposable putty knives. So that's how it works. So I want to go inside and get the birds and bring them out here and set them up. Actually, first, why don't we do this? First, we'll get their food and water in here. Here's what I'm using for the waterer. Just a normal chick waterer. Get that in there. Don't want to go right in the corner. Actually, how about put that more towards the center? No. That'll be good. And then just a little chick feeder right there with turkey and game bird starter crumbles. 28% protein. That's the key for quails, 28% protein. All right, I'm gonna go get them. All right, here's the first bin of birds. Here goes the first bin. You little buggers. Just chaos in there. Chaos. They're so funny. They're used to having a solid floor and pecking the food off once they once they spread it all over, and they're having to figure out that like now when they take it out of the feeder, it's gone. It's like gone for good, gone. Stepping on you, brother. No shoving, please. No shoving. Back to the feeder in an orderly fashion. Alright, so I'm going to see how they do in this. I really think that this will be a great way to raise them up until they're ready to go in their big boy cages, big girl cages. So I'll have an update, let you know how they're doing. They're about 10 days old, I think, right now. And they've already gotten huge from the little quarter-sized babies when they first hatched.